let's test. No, don't want to do that. So I am working on some music and I'm going to record a video and I'm going to post it on the internet. And one, potentially two people that might be interested in this. This is a project that I'm working on. I've got a ton of these. One of the things I like to do a lot is like go back through old Logic files and yeah, like if I don't have any good ideas, I'll just go back to an old idea and kind of hash it out. And I'll walk through all this shit and show you what I do. 100% of the time, every time on drums is the stock native plugin, the FET Live drums. And then when it's doing compression, like the obvious thing, but I don't know, man. It just works really well with those drums. But Amplitude was a plugin I used a ton, and what I like about it is that they've got licensed shit, but like their Fender stuff sounds like Fender stuff. And you can do all sorts of cool stuff, and it's also like gave me an opportunity to check out different amps that I normally wouldn't have. Like the Orange, surprisingly, has like baller ass clean sounds. I've always known them as like, you know, a heavy metal amp, and they do that obviously really well too, but anywho, Amplitude's good for like that kind of shit. I these days mostly use the Neural DSP archetype Mateus Asado. It just, man, dude, like it just sounds real fucking good. Yeah, and then I have a ton of things. I'm really bad about not using buses, so I like overload my computer, but it's a habit that I have. I do use some Soundtoys plugins. I like the Effects Rack. So if I was to buy one or recommend one plugin from them, it's the Effects Rack, because you basically get like all of their plugins and then you can just drop them in and reconfigure and remove, and it's just like super easy and gives you basically everything. So I don't really see a need not to get that over anything else. I absolutely love Valhalla stuff. Their delays are sick. I think their delays are way better. Like this, to me, is better than any other delay that is in Soundtoys or all the other stuff. I mean, there's a ton of flexibility, all these different modes, different eras. You get all like these good controls and stuff. And then their Valhalla Shimmer I use. I don't think anybody that I show my music to, like, they always say everything sounds like it's a synthesizer, and that's because this plugin. But I'm fucking cool with it, dude. And then bass, like, I think there's some good presets. This is just like a stock one out of the bass stuff. I think it's, the Chorsaurus is a fun one, which is what I have here, but I'm not using it the way that it is. I'm actually using Archetype on this. But just to note, Chorsaurus is kind of sick if you like that like Cure kind of 80s bass, which I do. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of jump into like the first riff here, which is just this like simple. I guess it sounds kind of basic, but I do pan, you know, so you get that stereo effect. So that's on the left side, my ears, and then that's on the right. And then together you just get a much richer, fuller sound. It's pretty common technique. And then here, man, I've been getting more into, you can see kind of like how I used to write, and historically I've always just done loops and then built on those loops and maybe added, taken away, whatever, but I've been very loop based. I'm trying to get away from that and get back to like recording like single takes. You don't see it here a ton, but I mean, you know, I would say this is probably not the best mix to show, but gives you some insight. So yeah, the bass is just coming out of the fucking, it's like playing through a Marshall, or I guess it would be like a Marshall maybe, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I got this like, I liked this groove, and I just like this kind of like, it just feels good to me. So that's kind of another reason why it doesn't work out all the time. But the cool thing about doing a long take like this is that if you want, you can just, you know, if there's like one good chunk and you got some kind of bullshit that you're just fucking around with and it didn't work, then you can then just take that chunk and loop that or whatever. I'm really big, and this is why playing this type of stuff that I write here live is very difficult, because I love layers, and I like, even if things are kind of off time, or there's a lot of like kind of competing melodies. Like I'll try to suppress those, and it sort of adds this texture to it, and that's where the delay and the reverb comes into play too. But yeah, the next stack here is that's where the shift happens. So you're kind of introducing a couple of extra layers for like a nice melodic transition. And so it would be like. Really like that melody too. The switches. And I'm doing a couple of extra things on the left and right too. But yeah, dude, I'm not about perfection. I'm just about like it doesn't line up perfectly cool. Sometimes I'll fucking quantize or nudge audio, but I really only do that. They do that sparingly. So yeah, to kind of hear how this whole thing works, like in the transition, I'll play it.